Fantasy Alarm TV. I'm your host, Ray Flowers. Let's talk some pitching here on this version of the Big Three. Let's start out with the number of 11. It's the number of strikeouts for Jonathan Gray, otherwise known as John Gray, of the Rockies in his last start. A great effort, but it was against the Padres. The Padres, one strikeout off the big league lead that's held by the Astros, the worst strikeout total in the National League, and we've seen the Padres many, many times this season go in the tank. So you have to look at what Gray did with a little bit of grain of salt. Now, I know he was the third overall pick a couple years ago back in 2013. A great talent, the potential to be a top-of-the-rotation starter, but he pitches for the Rockies. 12 starts to this point of his big league career. His ERA is almost 6.2, and his whip is 1.6. Now, he does have more than 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, walking about 2.9 batters per 9, which is just on the league average. So you can live with those walks, and obviously the strikeouts are grand, but the ratios are horrible. When you pitch half your games in Colorado, it just doesn't matter how good you are. Maybe you go with Gray when he's on the road against a weak opponent. You know, he's really a streaming option. Other than that, not someone you can be trusting with that Rockies CR on his hat. Second number is 1. It's the number of career wins for Jose Berrios of the Twins. Yeah, he won his second start. Now, Berrios has had 2 starts. He's got 13 strikeouts and 9 innings in those 2 outings. Fantastic. Some downside, though. 7 walks. He allowed a couple of home runs in his last outing. Not numbers that we expect to see continue, and obviously not numbers that can continue if he wants to have success. But he's got a 1.50 ground ball to fly ball ratio to this point, which is nice, and he's looked very polished on the mound. Give Berrios some time. Still a great arm. Still going to get a chance to continue to roll through that starting rotation for the Twins. And then the final number of the day is 2. It's the number of victories in 6 outings this season for Dallas Keuchel of the Astros. He is 2-4. That is not what anyone paid for when they made him their ace, though I would have liked to have seen you make him your number 2 this year. What's going on with Keuchel? Well, his velocity is down 1.6 miles per hour, and that is a concern. I'm not going to dismiss that. Therefore, the strikeout rate is down a little bit too. Though I think the number he posted last year, it's not a repeatable total in the strikeout per 9 category. Let's look back to 2015. It's about the pace he's on right now. The real issue is that when batters are hitting the ball, they're getting hits. His batting average of balls in play is 50 points above his career ratio. That probably doesn't continue. You also have to look at the walks, which is the other big issue. His walk total this season is more than double his walk rate per 9 innings the last 2 seasons. Keuchel needs to throw more strikes. He needs to be more pinpoint with his control. He just doesn't have the stuff to dominate all big league hitters unless he is doing that. Still getting the ground balls, though a 55% rate is also lower than we're used to seeing from him, but it's still a very impressive mark. Give Dallas Keuchel some time. 2015 numbers aren't going to happen. 2014 numbers are possible. Still a good option. Not overly concerned by the loss of velocity, though that walk issue, certainly something to keep a close eye on.